Alright, hello there, this is Fear Gaming's Fear Master here, and I want to bring a different kind of video today. It is, my personal opinion, the top primary weapons that exist in Taken King in Destiny today. Both PvP and PvE both. But I want to go ahead and apologize in advance for that right there. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's sinus congestion, head cold, or what it is, but my nose is just all runny and stuff right now, so if I sniffle any at all, I apologize in advance, but go ahead and get into the video. With a particular weapon archetype that I believe has been, perhaps, if not, one of, if definitely the best weapon archetype in the year 2 meta. Now, I say that loosely because I'm sure there's someone out there who thinks pulse rifles aren't the best archetype. Well, you all gotta remember, this is just my opinion. But this particular pulse rifle I'm using right now, which is by the also infamous name, the Grasp of Malok. It is a weapon that helps prove my point that the pulse rifle weapon archetype is very, very much powerful and very top of the meta in both PvP and PvE in year 2.
I haven't had much luck breaching Rasputin security.
Now the Grasp of Malok is a very high rate of fire, low impact pulse rifle, but what makes it so good is that high rate of fire. When you're firing this weapon, it fires so fast that when you hit your shots, you almost never notice a low impact because you're firing the weapon so fast and hitting so many shots in succession as long as you can aim. If you can't aim, then what are you doing, playing a first-person shooter? Kind of common sense. If you can aim and you can hit your shots, then this thing is beastly. I mean, there's really no other way to describe it. Yep, maybe machine is just but of course, it has a. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but the last time I checked the numbers, it was a three-round burst to the head was a 1.8 seconds time to kill in Crucible, and a 2.6 three-round burst to the body kill time, which is one of the fastest. It is the fastest kill time for pulse rifles. Period. Now, this weapon is more of a PvP-oriented weapon because of that exact reason. But if you don't get the ultimate PvP god roll, of course you can just see this weapon running around in PvE. Now, it's not to say this weapon is bad in PvE, it's just this weapon is more made for a PvP game style, of course. But all in all, it also depends on your game style, your style of playing. In PvP, mine is of course these high rate of fire weapons. Well, in PvE, it's not. Again, it all depends on your preference and your playstyle. Which brings us to our next weapon on the list, which is of course the Hawksaw. Oh man, this thing is quite an interesting weapon, to say the least. It's had its ups and its downs. It is not as high rate of fire as the Grasp, but it has a slightly higher impact. And if you buy the Vendor Perk Rolled 1 that the Crucible Quartermaster is currently selling, this thing has ridiculous stability. I mean, look right here in the background. Look at the stability perk on this thing right now. This is the one from the vendor. It has evil. That's the only word to describe it. It has evil freaking stability, which is what makes this thing more of a PvP oriented pulse rifle as well. Don't get me wrong on that. You can still use these weapons in PvE, but you're gonna get their maximum results. Don't know where it's going at. You're gonna get the maximum results and the maximum use, I guess, use out of them in PvP.
Can't believe the Taken can track us so easily. Oryx really does hate us.
But
Which is exactly why we're here.
I'm gonna leave you all with that, and you all enjoy the gameplay. I will be back with the next weapon. Alright, I'm back with the next weapon, and it is a very, how do you say, Hawksaw-esque weapon. It is the Suros PDX-45. And as you all can see from the comparison in the background, it has 3 more bullets than the Hawksaw. Same rate of fire, same impact, same range, slightly less stability, but it has a quicker reload. And sinus is gonna murder me again. And the Suros PDX is another pulse rifle that you will run into a lot in PvP. Now, this is only my opinion, but the Suros PDX is, I feel like it's one of those weapons that have almost found that balance that can be a monster of a PvP weapon, but at the same time be a monster of a PvE weapon. And there are not many pulse rifles, and not many. There's only one other pulse rifle on this list that can also attune to and say that same thing. And it is, I'll say it when we get there, but y'all enjoy the rest of this gameplay, and I'll be back with the next one. Alright, I'm back, and this is, I love the reflection sum to death. It is my top PvE weapon. Now, I feel like I might get some hate for this, but at the same time, I'm perfectly okay with that because I love this thing. Quite honestly, when I finally got this thing from Childs, I was... You can ask the Fear Platypus. Well, you can't right now, but you could later. You can ask him. I was jumping for joy. I was like, wow, what I gotta do? But in PvE, I consider that, again, this list is only my personal opinion. It's not throw down facts, but some of them could be. Don't get me wrong. Some of them, I guarantee, people are going to agree with, but some of them people are going to disagree with. Which is, of course, perfectly okay with me. I have no problem with that. Everyone has their opinions, but this list is my opinion. And it all also depends on your style of play. In PvE, I love to use moderate fire, high impact pulse rifles, which is what the reflection sum is. In PvP, I like to use high rate of fire, lower impact pulse rifles because they have quicker times to kill, like my Grasp of Malok. And now brings us to the next weapon on our list, another oh so beautiful pulse rifle, the Bad Juju. It is a moderate rate of fire with, of course, the built-in full auto perk, and it has a very semi-decent impact. And to relate back to what I said earlier, a Suros PDX-45-esque pulse rifle, because depending on your playstyle and how you play, this can be a top-tier PvE weapon, or if you play it right, it can also be a top-tier PvP weapon. And that, of course, has to do with the String of Curses perk in both scenarios. If you're a very good PvP player and you love pulse rifles, I would still recommend using this because it has a very good aim assist, a very nice rate of fire to go along with that. The String of Curses perks, of course, allows you per every kill, literally every kill, it will reload your magazine. So you never run out of ammo. You can literally sit there and chew through bullets, killing things, and killing other players in PvP, and never run out of ammo. Which is one of the things I love so much about this pulse rifle. That's why it's a pulse rifle I've used since year 1. Well, since I got it in year 1, of course, because everyone knows year 1. Exotic bounties. Well, why can't Bungie do something like that again? I guess the quests are okay, but... Anyways. And then, of course, the String of Curses perks doesn't only just refill your magazine, it also recharges your super faster for every kill you get with it. So, if you go on, I don't know, let's say a 5-kill streak in PvP in the Crucible, and if you have a high enough intellect, you're gonna have your super already. It's just that simple. If you have a tier 5 intellect and you get 3 kills in trials and the matches last long enough, probably already gonna have your super. And it is one of those chances where you could have to have your super twice in a trials match, which does not happen that often. Don't. I know from experience. I've ran trials enough to learn the hard way. But, of course, no. That's just me, but yeah, I hope you all enjoy the gameplay. I shall be back with the next weapon. Alright, I'm back with the next weapon on the list. It is of a different archetype. It is no longer pulse rifles anymore. Now, I'm getting to 2 of the scout rifles on the list, because the third one I do not have, so therefore I can get gameplay of it. And the first of these scout rifles being the so infamous Mida multi-tool. Now, the Mida is in terms of scout rifle, of course, this isn't every weapon archetype, a very high rate of fire weapon with a very nice impact to accompany that. It has a very nice range, very nice stability, and it is freaking instant reload almost. It is. If you have some gauntlets on your character with a scout rifle reloader, you're gonna freaking reload this thing just like, oh, hey, look, it's like you never even reloaded. And of course, if you all want primary weapon loaders, go be my guest, but if you're using the Mida multi-tool, I don't know why you would need it. But, of course, if I ever want to use a scout, I keep on saying pulse rifle. If you ever want, this is in every time I ever use a scout rifle in PvP, this is my go-to choice, because it is a 2-shot headshot and a 3-shot body shot, being one of, if not the fastest times to kill of any weapon in any weapon archetype in Crucible. At least that's what it used to be. If that has changed, I would very much appreciate it if someone would tell me, so I can, you know, correct myself. But the last time I used it in PvP, that's how it was. But I'm going to let you all enjoy the rest of this gameplay, and I'll be back with the next weapon. Alright, the next weapon on our list is one of my very, very favorite scout rifles since year 1, really, in PvE. Now, is this thing a good PvP weapon? Yes. By all means, yes. But I personally prefer to use it in PvE because of the Mida multi-tool in PvP. Now, of course, it does not have as high a rate of fire as the Mida multi-tool, but it does have a higher impact, more range, and roughly the same stability, and of course a slower reload, so it's, of course, for that reason, not as good as the Mida in PvP, but it is still one of the best PvP scout rifles. But I personally like to use this weapon in PvE instead, because it is top tier PvE scout rifle. Along with the other scout rifle I would love to have had gameplay for in this list, the Badger CCL. But I sadly do not have a year 2 Badger. It still makes me sad because I've been grinding my Vanguard so much to try and get one. And just like the Badger, the Saturnine Rapier was a year 1 scout rifle that were both bumped to year 2 per the April update. Oh, speaking of Year 1 weapons. Here is everybody's favorite hand cannon. Oh boy, this thing, I don't even know what to say about this thing, to be honest. It is of a different weapon archetype of the hand cannons. In hand cannon terms, it is a very, very, very fast rate of fire. It of course has the impact of a hand cannon, and I swear to you that range stat is skewed. Because literally I get sniped by this thing in Crucible all the time, because this weapon, I hate it and I love it so much, I just don't have words. It is, you get so dicked by this thing in Crucible. Of course, you're gonna literally be sitting here watching me fail to use it because I just can't use it. You know, I'm not hating on the weapon, of course. It's just, oh man, it's one of those weapons. It's like you hate it, but you love it. It is just that kind of weapon. It's kind of me that multi-task in that perspective, of course. That's why I just don't use it in Crucible, because I just can't use it. That's simple as that. I mean, I do pretty decent in this gameplay, but there's a lot better. I know a guy on my friends list, he freaking godly is just like, oh look, I'm aimed at though. He's dead. Now, this brings us to our last weapon archetype, the auto rifles. Auto rifles in the Taken King. Auto rifles, let's just be honest, auto rifles in the Taken King have really been on a strange path. They've been up and they've been down. They've been good and they've been bad. But except for one weapon. And that is the oh so infamous Doctrine of Passing. Now, as you can see in the background, I have, of course, the Adept version, which is better in a sense, but it is the same as the regular Doctrine of Passing. People hate both of them, people love both of them. They're essentially the same weapon. The Adept is just flawless, and its stats are slightly better. But if you ever hear anyone refer to the Destiny bullet hose, and you don't play Destiny, know that they are talking about the Doctrine of Passing and the Doctrine of Passing Adept. Because this thing has the highest rate of fire for any weapon, period. Like, you see it in this gameplay. I have a 78 round clip, because I'm currently using a Extended Mag because I've not unlocked the Brace Frame perk yet. And at one point, you will see me literally chew through all 78 of those bullets in about, I want to say it's like 8 seconds, but it may also be faster. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not even exactly sure. I didn't specifically time it. But if you can get this particular weapon, the regular Doctrine or a Doctrine Adept, with counterbalance, persistence, or really any stability perk, you have on your hands perhaps the most evil auto rifle to have ever existed in the Year 1 Destiny meta and the Year 2 Destiny meta, because that makes it so good. It is an extremely high rate of fire. Again, the highest rate of fire for any weapon, period.
complex after the Omnigul breach.
But the trade-off is a low impact,
Look at this.
which is actually not so uncommon when you're talking about the auto rifle archetype.
How did they even get in there?
But it is a legitimate bullet hose. Now, I'm going to leave the Doctrine of Passing gameplay going in the background, but there are a couple more weapons I want to bring up. I wish I could have had the weapons to gameplay for y'all, but they would also make my list. They are making the list. It's just I don't have the gameplay to show you all. It's the Shadow Price, which is the Vanguard auto rifle from year 1 that got bumped to year 2 in the April update, and the Badger CCL Scout Rifle, also from Vanguard, that also got bumped from year 1 to year 2 in the April update with a very large slew of legendary weapons that everyone loved back in year 1 and to this day still loves in year 2. But those two are two that I wish I had to make gameplay for you all. But either way, thank you all for watching, and please subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, follow the Facebook page, and watch out for the next video. I'll be posting an update on Twitter and Facebook both of when it's going to be out. So thank you all for watching, and enjoy the rest of the gameplay.